Good afternoon. I know I normally go live late at night, but I figured since it's a Sunday, I would do it a little earlier because I'm working on a project. So how is everyone doing this afternoon? I figured, we are getting close to closing out 2023. So we might as well close out 2023 with a bang, and any kind of mistakes we have done, let's go ahead and get those corrected so that when we start 2024, we're already rocking and rolling. Okay. So business structure, if you have any business structure questions, just drop those in the comments. But let's see, it's November. We want to make sure for our business structure that, number one, we are checking our address on the registered agent to make sure that that is correct. You want to make sure that we have gotten our LLC annual report in, and if your state requires you to pay an annual fee, that's done. We do not want to get our LLC terminated, revoked. And so we want to make sure that before we end 2023, that our structure is correct. If we are not doing the proper business banking, hold on, I got questions. Let me write these questions down. Business report. Okay. If we have not, if we're not doing proper business banking, right? So if we're maybe commingling funds, maybe we are having business funds sent to our personal Cash App, Cash App, Venmo, or Zelle. Maybe we are swiping that business credit card for lashes, nails, personal expenses. We want to kind of just go ahead and stop that and then get whatever we need together on the business banking side. So starting in 2024, we are starting correctly. A lot of you guys have been asking about this compliance report, okay? So the compliance report, let me see what the date is. The compliance report is simply just saying, is the government saying, hey, you guys, if you own an LLC, hold on, I can't do two things. Business compliance report. I want to say it's not due until January of 2025 if you already have your LLC. Hold on. New LLC. All we're doing is telling the federal government that we are the owner of an LLC. As of now, unless you formed your LLC in an anonymous state, so Delaware, Wyoming, Nevada, New Mexico, you're already telling your state that you're the member of the LLC. All we're doing is now, instead of just telling the state, we're just telling the federal government that we are the member of this LLC. So this is really for the LLCs that don't have the members on them. The government knows, okay, hey, well, this is the owner of the LLC. Okay. The form is not out yet. The form, I want to say, won't be released until next year. You have 1 year to comply. So if you've already formed your LLC, then you have 1 year starting on the 1st of January of next year to get this report in. If you're just going to form your LLC next year, I want to say you have 30 days to get the report in. If you already have your LLC starting on January 1st of 2024, you have 1 year to get that form in. Okay. It's just a form saying, hey, I'm the owner of this LLC. You are already saying, hey, I'm the owner of this LLC to your Secretary of State, unless you formed your LLC in Wyoming, Delaware, New Mexico, or Nevada. If you did form your LLC in an anonymous state, it will still be anonymous as far as you can't go online to the Secretary of State and look up the information. The federal government, though, will know. They're doing a lot of this, to stop all this money laundering, to stop people, for hiding to the government that they have an interest in this business. Okay. Now, if you are getting sued by someone and they have a good PI team, a good investigating team, they will be able to get to who owns that LLC. It'll just take them more time to peel back those layers, and they'll have to put some money towards it. But there is a way to find out who owns what. So, although you form an anonymous state, and they say it's anonymous, I mean, people can still find out. Not your average person. So you will be anonymous to the average person. So if you already have formed your LLC, you have 1 year. The form is not out. I don't believe the form is going to be released until January 1st of 2024. If you are planning on forming an LLC starting next year, I want to say the form has to be turned in within 30 days for all the new LLCs that are being registered. So that is what this, what is the name of this act? Like the Corporate Transparency Act. That's what that is. Okay. So we are just telling the federal government that I'm a member of the LLC. We already tell the federal government that we're a member when we file our tax return. So you file your tax return, and you're the owner of an LLC. You're either going to file, if you're an LLC being taxed as an LLC, you're filing a Schedule C on your personal tax return that's saying to the federal government, I own this business. If you have a C Corp, or if your LLC is taxed as an S Corp, you're going to be getting a K-1 from the company that you file on your personal tax return. And that's where you're telling the federal government, hey, I own this company, and here is my ownership distribution, or the taxes I'm paying on the profits of my percentage of ownership. Okay, so we're really already telling the federal government that we own it. This is going to be just like a little form in case you aren't current on your taxes and you're trying to hide. So that's all what the Corporate Transparency Act, all this $500 a day. Yes, if you already have your LLC, and in sometime in 2024, you don't file this report, then starting in 2025, they're going to fine you $500 a day. So just sometime next year, when y'all free, get the form in. If you want to be proactive, then just, in January when the form is released, just fill it out, turn it in. Now that's done. Okay. So that is the Corporate Transparency Act. Let me see what my next question is. Y'all see this little nail? She is almost grown back. I ripped the whole nail off, so I had to wait like a couple months for it to grow back. If I'm charging a 12-week, 90-day program, how much should I charge per client? I was thinking $5,000 a month. Ooh. What you're charging is going to depend on, one, who your target audience is, what they can afford, and what value you are providing for the 12-week program. So, if you want me to help you break that down in more detail, I would say book a consultation. If I start an LLC in November, do I still have to file the annual report? Yes. If you have an LLC, doesn't matter when you started. Even if you have done nothing with your LLC, you haven't made a dime, you haven't even done anything with it, all you got was the LLC, you haven't even got an EIN number, you still have to file your annual report with your state. This is telling the state that, hey, I'm using this LLC name. So when you form your LLC, your state is reserving your name. So if I have Joyce Barbecue, and I form an LLC called Joyce Barbecue, then the state is going to reserve my name. You're going to file the report to let the state know, hey, I'm still using Joyce Barbecue. Even if Joyce Barbecue has done nothing, I haven't made $1, I just got the LLC, it's just collecting dust, but I got to tell my state, hey, I'm still using this LLC. If you don't file your report, then the state's going to think you're not using your LLC. They're going to terminate it, and then they're going to be able to give your name away to someone else. So the report is just letting the state know, hey, I'm using this name. So yes, you will need to Yes, you would need to do that. Why is it so hard to get business funding with a new LLC? Okay, so a new LLC is going to be like a high school student who's 18, fresh out of school, and walking into the Mercedes-Benz dealership to get financing on a $100,000 car. Well, an 18-year-old doesn't have credit, right? So Mercedes doesn't know, are you going to pay your bills? Are you not going to pay your bills? Can you handle this debt? Can you not handle this debt? So no credit is kind of the same as bad credit. When you get your LLC hot off the press, and you get your EIN number, and you get your DUNS number, and you heard, all these things on social media, get $100,000 in 90 days. And there's a rule that banks have to give you $50,000, no docs. Okay, all of those things are true, but a lot of times they kind of forget to add like the fine line, right? So here's the fine line that they don't say, but if they say this part, it doesn't sound as catchy, right? You can do anything you want with an LLC if you tie your personal social to it and you're the personal guarantor, okay? So if we go right now and we form an LLC, and then tomorrow morning when the IRS website opens up and we get our EIN, we can walk into the bank and get $100,000 worth of funding like that if you put your social down and you're a personal guarantee. And they're going to run your credit. Your credit's going to be a 680 or higher, and you can get it done. It's that simple. The gag is most people who are wanting to get business funding are wanting to get business funding solely on the business, not tying them personally to it. Okay. So if you don't want to tie your social to the business debt, you're going to then have to build business credit. So just like if I were to graduate from high school, I'm 18, I have no credit. Well, I'm going to have to now go build credit, right? So in business credit, we're going to build credit. You're first going to go through some net 30 vendors. Okay. So Quill, Granger, you can just Google tier 1 net 30 vendors. Those are going to be vendors that you can purchase things from them, and they will give you an invoice, and you have to pay that invoice within 30 days. These vendors are going to allow you to, have a net 30 account, meaning I buy it now, pay for it in 30 days, because they know that you're establishing business credit. You're going to get this account solely in your business DUNS number and EIN. It's not going to be linked to your personal social. Once you establish a certain amount of accounts, you pay them on time, then we can go to the next tier, which would be tier 2. Tier 2 is going to be your store credit cards and your gas credit cards. Okay. So, Lowe's, Home Depot, Best Buy, Staples, Office Max, a credit card that can be used at a certain store. A gas card, okay, BP, Wawa, Shell, Chevron, a credit card that can be used at that gas station. Once you make X amount of payments, have an X amount of accounts reporting to your business credit report, then you can go to tier 3, which would be your cash credit cards. So American Express, Capital One, Chase. Once you have certain amount of accounts reporting on your business credit report, there's 3 business credit bureaus. One in the largest one is going to be Dun & Bradstreet. Okay, so Dun & Bradstreet. Then you have Small Business Experian and Small Business Equifax. If you go to nav.com, nav.com, and they have, I think that the paid version maybe $49 or $59 a month. Nav.com is going to be like Credit Karma, where it's going to show you your business credit report on the 3 business bureaus. Okay, you're looking for your Paydex score. That's going to be your credit score on Dun & Bradstreet. So in personal credit, it's a FICO score. In business credit, it's a Paydex score. We need an 80 Paydex score. Okay. So when you first get with your net 30s, you're waiting until your paydex score is an 80. If you go and apply for any kind of funding right now, you're going to get denied because you haven't established, business credit. So we got our net 30s or tier 1, our store credit cards are tier 2, our cash credit cards are tier 3. Tier 4 is going to be vehicle financing or walking into the bank and getting a line of credit or a loan. Here's the thing when it comes to getting money out of the bank. Money out of the bank, not linked to your social, is if you're not going to give your social and the proof of income that you have to pay this loan, you're going to have to give your EIN and your business revenue to qualify for the loan. There is no walking into the bank getting money out and we don't have revenue. Okay, so if you're a brand new business and we don't have revenue and we're not going to tie our personal social to the bank, I would recommend applying for business grants. Okay, business grants don't have that same threshold for how many years you've been in business, tax returns, revenue. Business grants are very startup friendly. But we need to have a plan and you need to understand what you need to ask for. Okay, so you want to ask for things that will make your business money. Office space, payroll for employees, marketing, inventory, equipment, remodeling expenses, things like that, right? So I have a business grant bundle. If you comment in this live grant, you'll get a link. I have a Black Friday bundle. If you comment in the live Black Friday, you'll get that link. I would say start applying for business grants. Every business should be applying for business grants. There is 9 out of 10 times there's no cost to apply for them. A couple of grants will have like a $10 or $15 application fee, but for the most part, they're free. There's no limit to how many you have to pay for. How many you can apply for. We don't have to pay the money back. So if you're a new business with no revenue, that's no financial pressure on you. If you're an existing business, but maybe, your cash flow can't handle like any more expenses, then a grant's great. It's not based on your credit. It's not based on revenue. It's not based on how long you've been in business. So if you're a brand new business, I would recommend doing, applying for business grants. Try to apply for 5 to 10 grants every single month. So one, it will make you more confident when you're applying for the grant. The grants are going to ask you the same questions. Okay. I have a grant writing course that kind of gives you like the blueprint of all the questions that they're going to ask you and helps you kind of answer all those questions. So then when it comes to actually applying for the grant, you're just going from your blueprint and then just copying and pasting your answers for the different questions. Questions like, why did you start your business? What makes you different than the competition? What are the barriers you've experienced, or in your business? How will this grant help you? What do you need the money for? Common questions like that. But I kind of break it down in the spreadsheet and the blueprint as to, hey, let's answer this question. I kind of break down how we should answer it, how we should showcase our business as being the best in the game. And I really break everything down so that you feel more confident when you're applying. Baby, if you can afford my grant bundle, then go on YouTube and just do Google how to apply for business grants, right? The great thing about business grants is that, one, the application's online. You're just answering questions. So we're not having to come up and do a 20-page grant proposal. Number 2, a business grant understands that they're giving a business owner some money. They're not looking for you to have a PhD. They're not looking for you to have, a master's in language arts. They're not looking for it to, have all this great grammar and sound great. Now, we can't go in here, with Ebonics, but if we have a misspelling here, if it doesn't sound like it's, an Academy Award, written grant, it's okay because they're more focused on what are you saying you're going to do with this money? How is this money going to make you money? How is me giving you this going to help benefit you? Because at the end of the year, what they're going to want is an aha story. Hey, Joy, we gave your barbecue restaurant $10,000. What did you do? Oh my gosh, I bought a new grill and now I am able to, barbecue the meat 30 minutes faster. It's allowing me to, service, more customers, and I have increased my bottom line by 20%. Oh my gosh, I was able to open a second location. Oh my gosh, I was able to hire 5 more employees. They're looking for the aha statement. So on their website, they can throw your picture on there and a statement as to how that grant money helped your business. That's what they're looking for. So if you're a brand new business, I would say start applying for business grants. If you are just a business, start applying for business grants. Try to do 5 to 10 a month. Take one Sunday out the month and just apply to 5 to 10 grants. Next month, take one Sunday out the month, apply for 5 to 10 grants. In my grant bundle, if you type in grants in the comment, you're going to get the link to 900 business grants. I break down the list into the grants that are available every single month. And then I also break them down to every month what grant is available. And the list gets updated every single month. So every single month, you know what business grants are available. If you can't afford my bundle, then just Google business grants. There are websites like Hello Alice you can become a member of. They have business grants. You can check your state's or your city's chamber of commerce, or you can just go on Google and just say Google business grants, and some grants will pop up. Not all the grants I got, but baby, you can start somewhere, if my bundle's not in the budget. So I would say start applying for business grants. Okay, so you run a mechanic shop for heavy equipment. We picked up a couple of dump trucks. What's the proper structure to protect assets in case one of these dump trucks gets into a situation? You need to have a holding company. I have a holding company webinar. If you comment holding in the comments, or Black Friday, I have my holding company masterclass, also my Black Friday bundle. The holding company webinar will break everything down to you. But to answer your question, you'll want to form a holding company and then run your business through your operating LLC. There will be a lease agreement between your operating LLC and your holding company to be able to use the dump truck, so that the operating LLC that's actually doing the work is not owning any of the assets. So if they were to get sued, then they don't have any assets to lose. And you have a lease agreement. You'll pay the holding company a lease fee every single month for being able to use the equipment that the holding company owns. So that's how you would separate your assets from the business. I noticed some of your classes are no longer available. Cotton Ball 743. What's not available? They should all be there. They should all be on there. I am doing my business and my Bible and business at 8:30 Eastern time, not 7:30, 8:30 Eastern time. Should a person pay for the administration fee to fix their administrative dissolved business back? If the fee is not outlandish, I would say yes, because when you reactivate your LLC, you basically restore the LLC so you don't lose the corporate age. If you would just say, oh, well, forget about it, I'll just form another one, well, you can, but now you lost, the corporate age. If you had a 2-year, 3-year, 5-year LLC, we're now losing all that corporate age. And if you formed your LLC last year and there's a fee on it, you don't want to pay it. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but I would say pay it so that you don't lose the age of the LLC. What is the purpose of that, since we are already reporting this once a year? Okay, Miss Consuelo, I don't know. Can you kind of rephrase your question for me? If you're talking about the this Corporate Transparency Act, this is going to be a separate form. The Corporate Transparency Act is going to be a form for the federal government. And then your LLC annual report is going to be a form for the state. Okay, so we got our LLC annual report for the state level, and then we have our Corporate Transparency Act for the federal level. So it'll be two different levels. It's two different forms. Yes. I plan to start my LLC in December. Should I wait till January? No, I would say you want to form your LLC now. You definitely want to form your LLC now, because if you've done anything towards your business, we can now write those expenses off in 2023. Okay, let's see. I just started my first corporation last week. Okay, Strive for Life. Let's get it. Let's get it. Okay, will they be sending the forms to the LLC? I don't believe so. I believe the form is on the website. Let's see. Well, here's the thing. The form isn't even out, right? So they're like saying all this, what we got to do, what we better do, and the form isn't even out. So I doubt that they're about to mail us the form because the form isn't even available now. I would say let's just wait until the first of the year until they actually get the form on the website. I'll probably just add a link to my link tree that will link you right to the form for free, so you can kind of go right to the form, because like DUNS numbers and EIN numbers, I'm sure there's going to be like a little scam company trying to charge you for the form, and I'm sure it's free. So I'll just put a link in my link tree to get this form so y'all can just get it. And I would just say in January, just go ahead and fill the form out and just, get that done with. Are there any grants for child care providers for 2023? So there are small business grants, right? So a lot of people are thinking I have to get an industry specific grant. There are some industry specific grants, but the majority of the grants are going to be for a small business. So whatever your business is, great. As long as you have your LLC, EIN, business bank account, you'll qualify for all the grants. There are some startup grants that don't require an LLC. Like you can have a business idea and we'll give you some money towards your idea. But look for business grants. So if I have a barbecue restaurant, don't Google, barbecue restaurant business grants. Just Google, small business grants, minority owned business grants, women owned business grant, veteran owned business grants. Those will be kind of like the keywords to Google when finding a grant. In my grant bundle, I have tabs. So I'll have a tab for the small business grants, for the women business grants, and for the industry specific grants like beauty, restaurants, vets, those kind of things. What if I have an EIN but no LLC? Baby, then what do you have? So an EIN with no LLC is like having a car with no gas. Like, what are we really about to do with this? So you need to go ahead and form an LLC because you want to separate yourself from the business. If you're just running around here as a sole proprietor, as a DBA, I got my EIN, you are out here doing business. So if you're out here doing business, then your house, your car, the money in the bank is all being exposed. We don't want that. So we want to form the LLC to separate us and our personal assets from the business. And then once you form your LLC, you'll need to get a new EIN. I have an LLC in Illinois, but I moved to Mississippi. Do I get a new LLC? Okay, so Glamour Day Spa Mobile, you would file for a foreign LLC in Mississippi. So if you have an LLC and you move states, then you would just want to file for a foreign LLC in the state that you moved in. So if you're moving to Mississippi, girl, why are you going to Mississippi? Let me not say anything. If you're going to Mississippi, then you'll just say, hey, Mississippi, I have an Illinois LLC, but I'm about to be doing business here in Mississippi, so I need a foreign LLC. So now you'll technically have two LLCs. You'll have the Illinois LLC, and then you'll have your foreign LLC in Mississippi. So now we got to make sure that we have both annual reports filed, because we got to keep the LLC active, and then we got to also keep the foreign LLC active. But when you register your Illinois LLC as a foreign LLC in Mississippi, we're still keeping our corporate age. Now, you can form a new one if you want. You're then going to just be starting from square one. So I don't know how old your business is. I don't know if you already have business credit established. I don't know if you already have, credit cards or a point of sale system, where you accept credit card payments already linked. You may not want to start all that process over. So the simplest thing to do, well, I won't say simplest because some people think it's complicated to keep both entities active. So you can either form a brand new one and just start all over, or you can register your out-of-state LLC as a foreign LLC. What happens if you did start your LLC and didn't file the document to let the state know? What should you do in that case? You need to contact your Secretary of State and find out who is the department that does the LLC annual report. Different states will call it annual reports, compliance report, franchise tax reports. There's different names for them, but your Secretary of State can direct you as to where you need to go. Sometimes, some states, you file everything with the Secretary of State. Like Florida, you file all your forms on SunBiz, the Secretary of State. Different states have different departments. Like in Texas, you will file your report with the Texas Comptroller's Office, right? But your Secretary of State can tell you who is the governing agency that regulates and has these reports. 9 out of 10 times a report can be filed online. If you're late, you may have to mail something in, but they'll be able to direct you as to where to file this report. Is there a minimum amount of LLC S Corp needed to form a holding company? Aryan Goddess, I don't understand the question, but to form a holding company, you just form the business entity. What makes it a holding company is how we're using the LLC. So we're not using the LLC or the corporation to do business. We're using it to actually hold the asset, meaning it's going to hold the title, hold the deed, it's going to hold the license. It's how we're using it. That's what makes it a holding company. For example, let's just say I have a Ford F-150 truck, right? But that's just my work truck because I have Joyce Barbecue. I just use that to go back and forth for work and to haul stuff from Sam's Club for the barbecue restaurant, right? But on the weekends, maybe I drive like a little Tesla. So the Ford F-150 is my work truck. Well, my neighbor may have a Ford F-150 and that may be his only car. So that's his everyday car. So the Ford 150 for me is a work truck, but the Ford F-150 for him is just his everyday car. When if a person like my truck and they go to Ford and they say, "Hey, I want the Ford F-150 that's a work truck," they're going to be like, well, we have one, it's just Ford F-150. Like whatever you want to use it for, that's what you use it for, but you're going to just buy a Ford F-150. There's not going to be a brand that says work truck, okay? So the holding company is going to be an LLC or a corporation that we're forming. What makes it a holding company is how we're using it, okay? So maybe that answered your question. What are some good starting accounts since the business credit isn't established? You can try Quill. You can try Shirtsy. You can try Granger. You can try the T-shirt club. You can try, depending on how old, like if you have at least like a year old LLC, there's a gas card that's a little lenient. It's going to be A to B. So the letter A and then T-O and then the letter B. A to B gas card they aren't as stringent. So I would say I would apply for that, although you don't have anything established yet. And then Amazon has a business Prime account that's real lenient. You could try the Amazon Business Prime. I would start there. If I left my home in an irrevocable trust, will I have to pay taxes at the current rate if I decide to sell it? If you put your home in an irrevocable trust, you're not going to be able to sell it because you no longer have any control over that asset. So you may want to, there are two different types of trust. There's an irrevocable, which is the bulletproof trust, right? Ain't no coming into that one. But once you put that asset in there, you lose control over it, and the trustee is who's managing that asset. So you don't have a say over what happens to that home. If the trustee decided to sell the home, a trust doesn't negate taxes. So if there is a capital gains tax, then the trust if the trust makes income, a trust is another entity. It's like, I'm not gonna say it's like an LLC. A trust is an LLC and a corporation is a business entity. A trust is another entity. Okay, so the trust would file a tax return and then pay whatever are the taxes on the gains of the house. Is it possible to keep your company on payroll to help with keeping proper paperwork and taxes? Is it possible to keep your... Okay, I am LEK. I don't understand that question. If you're trying to do payroll properly, you need to have a payroll company, okay? ADP is the biggest one. ExecuPay, QuickBooks has a payroll company. I think Thanks, Mom. Paycom. All up in my mix. Paycom. You want to have a payroll company actually process your payroll. So when it comes to payroll, the payroll taxes will be divided by the employee pays half and the employer pays half. Here's the thing. Sometimes when we're running our business, we look at the payroll taxes like, that's too much money, right? I'm gonna just catch up next month, or I'm gonna just pay double next month, and then we get into a snowball domino effect to play with the wrong people. Okay, so the IRS are the real alphabet boys. We don't want to play with them, and we don't want to play with them when it comes to payroll taxes. How do I know? Because I hired a payroll company who did my they reported my payroll taxes incorrectly. And so on my W-4s, what do you feel? Not my W-4, on my 941. So when you file payroll taxes, you're actually paying the payroll tax to the IRS. And then you as a business has to file a form called a 941 every quarter. I think it's every quarter. You file your 941s to tell the IRS, hey, we have collected payroll taxes on these people, and this is what the payroll taxes owed should have been. And then, you should have been paying those. They reported it wrong, and I didn't catch the mistake. ADP, I switched to a bigger company because I was just big, and I was like, let me just go with a bigger company. And ADP caught the mistake that I'm not going to say the payroll company thing because that's going to be shady, but that the payroll company made. And the IRS was like, baby, we don't care who made the mistake, it's your company, that's on you. So I had to pay a nice little, chunk simply because the person at the first payroll company put the wrong amount on our 941s, right? It was a big 6-month back and forth debacle, but the original payroll company, they wasn't trying to put their name on the dotted line. So the IRS said, hey girl, it's your company. You should have hired a better company. So it's on you. So with payroll taxes, we just don't want to play with the church's money because the IRS has no understanding if this is wrong. So if you're going to be on payroll, I would have a third party do your payroll. So QuickBooks, Paycom, ExecuPay, ADP, or some CPAs and accountants will also do payroll. Have it done so that all you're doing is submitting everyone's hour, everyone's pay. They are doing your checks for you. They're filing your 941s, and then they will also get out your W-2s and 1099s. This is something that you don't want to do. Because if you mess up, if you do it wrong, payroll taxes, like on personal income taxes, you can get you a payment plan, you can get you an installment agreement, you can say, hey, I just ain't got it right now. But the payroll taxes, baby, it wasn't no payment plan. Baby, pay us our money now or else, right? So the IRS is the real alphabet boys. I have cut them several checks. We do not want to play with them. So I would recommend having a third party or your CPA accountant do your payroll just so that everything is done correctly. Now, for you to be on payroll, your LLC has to be taxed as an S Corp, okay? So if you're an LLC and you're filing as an LLC, then you would just take an owner's draw, meaning I'm just going to move money from the business account to my personal account. It doesn't matter how much money you move, whatever the business makes, you're going to pay the taxes on the profit, whether you take the profit out or you don't. If you are an LLC taxed as an S Corp, or if you're a corporation or a corporation taxed as an S Corp, then the requirement is that one of the owners is on payroll. So if that's the case, then you'll be on payroll. What I did is I just cut my salary in half. I took half as a distribution, which is just taking the money from your business account to your personal account, and I take the other half as a W-2 employee. That way I'm still getting a nice little chunk of taxes in. I'm still, compliant with the S Corp rule, but all the money I'm taking out the business is not, levied a tax on. So that's how I would do that. Are you still going to do a mentorship program? I am. My mentorship program is launching in February. I have a team working on it. My mentorship program is going to be thebomb.com. Okay. So I'm getting everything together. I'm not even going to tell you what the name is yet, so I trademark her, but it's going to be real. If y'all are serious about growing your business, okay, serious, like y'all like, let me just get myself together as a CEO. Let me just get this business together. I have the perfect mentorship program for you, okay? So I need you guys to start saving your money up right now and to think about your investment, because it's going to be an investment, but I promise you this is going to be the best one, the best investment that you've had, okay? So stay tuned. Details will start being released around late December, early January. How do you get your DNB number? I feel like it's a lot of offers and runaround. So you're going to go to DunhamBradstreet.com, which will be DNB.com. Don't pay for nothing. They're going to offer you all these programs, credit monitoring, boom. Your Dun & Bradstreet, this little bang, she just needs a little curl. It's a little curl. Your Dun & Bradstreet number or your DNB number or your DUNS number is free. It's like your EIN number. So don't pay for it. Don't click on an ad for it. Don't purchase anything. You just want your DUNS number. How do we get the grant? You just apply for business grants. There are several grants. I have a grant bundle. You can just type in grants in the comment for a link, or you can comment Black Friday. I have a whole grant bundle, but you're going to just start applying for business grants. If you can't afford my bundle, you can Google business grants. You're going to fill an application out online to apply, and we need to know why we need the money. Is a CPA better than a tax preparer if you have more than one business and a job? Yes. So a tax preparer is someone who just files a tax return. A CPA is someone who's gone to college and has an accounting degree, and they've taken the CPA exam, and they're now a CPA or a certified public accountant. If we can't afford a CPA, the next best thing will be an accountant. An accountant is someone who went to college and has a degree in accounting. So once you have a business, we need to start leaving, H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, Keisha and them tax service, no shade. And we need to start going to an accountant or a CPA, okay, who specializes in business taxes, because you're going to need to know, even if your business is small, we're not making money, okay, great. Eventually you are going to make some money, okay? So what am I supposed to be doing with this money? Are you filing your tax return, correctly? A lot of times, if people don't know something, they just don't know, right? Although they don't know, you're the person who's going to be missing out on the tax deductions. You're the person who had something filed on the wrong form, which incurred, a different tax liability. You're the person who didn't know, I should have bought this inventory in December, not January. I remember when I was practicing law, and a friend of mine had a personal injury law firm, and he won a big case. And the insurance company, this is like in December, right? So the insurance company was asked him, did you want the check now, or did you want the check on the first of the year? He was black, right? So he said, I want it now. So I ran into him in court and he was like, man, remember that, remember that medical malpractice lawsuit I had? He's like, man, we hit big. I was like, what? And he was like, let me tell you how dumb the insurance company is. The insurance company asked me, do I want my check now or do I want it in 2 weeks in January? And I said, I hope he said January. I said now. Why did I wait 2 weeks? I said, if you said now, that means you're about to incur the tax liability on this multi-million-dollar lawsuit now. If you say January, you now have a whole year to go sit at your CPA's office and say, hey, come up with whatever's the plan going to be to negate these taxes or at least cut them down. So I'm like, what do I need to do to, knock off some of this tax liability? Do I need to go do some marketing? Like, what do I need to do now to knock this down? And his face just dropped like, I'm just thinking, Christmas, the holidays, like, let me get my money now. And I'm like, yeah, we don't want it now because now it's too late to plan. We can't zig and zag in 2 weeks. It's too late. So he got hit with that tax liability that could have been less if he had just waited 2 weeks. It would have been less because if I know I have all this income coming in, well, then let me go on ahead and incur some expenses. So if I was going to maybe invest in some real estate, I didn't know when, let me go invest in it now. If I was going to go buy some inventory, let me go double my purchase. Because it's like now I know I got to eat some of this up. If you sold, if I'm selling a house and it's December 31st, well, hey, let's go sign this contract on January 1st. So I won't get hit with this capital gains tax. Now I can't play with it, right? So once you have your business, you want to have an accountant, a CPA. I always recommend the Tax CEO on Instagram. So the Tax CEO or Sassy Accountant. There's another little CPA, Pruitt CPA. Let me see. Or is it CPA Pruitt? Pruitt Prep CPA. So PRUITT PREP CPA. Let me make a note. I'll add them when I post it. If I type in the comments, my live will freeze because my little live's a bootleg. But you want to make sure once you have your business, at least pay for a consultation with the CPA or an accountant. Accountant's gonna be cheaper than a CPA. Okay, account may run you maybe, I don't know, no more than $350 an hour, where that CPA gonna be between that $450, $750 an hour. But you want to at least have a meeting with an accountant or CPA. Hey, I'm new in business. I have this kind of business. What are the proper tax deductions I should be having in my business? I have a tax deduction guide for about 27 different industries. If you comment tax deduction in the comments, you can get the link. But you want to talk to your accountant CPA, like, how should I be saving my receipts? Should I use you for bookkeeping? Their hourly rate may be a little bit too much if we're just starting, but they may be able to give you a referral for a bookkeeper. A bookkeeper doesn't have a college degree. A bookkeeper is like a regular person, but they know how to organize your expenses, right? So when you go to file your tax return, we have to give the CPA or your accountant like all the income you made plus all your expenses. Well, how do you get that information to them, right? That's what a bookkeeper would do. They would, go in, either teach you or you would just email them all your invoices. They can organize it for you once they get it. But either you're going to do your bookkeeping. So I don't know if you're into organizing your paperwork or your numbers. You have a wife or a spouse and that's their thing that they're doing. You have a teenage child or a college child that they can do all that, or you can hire you a bookkeeper. If we're on a budget, we want to probably go bookkeeper to organize the expenses, and then they'll get it in the proper format to then give to your CPA or accountant. But you at least want to have an appointment with them so they can kind of tell you how to save your receipts, what's the best way to do it for them, the proper tax deductions, what you should be, just go ahead and build that rapport. Go ahead and have that consultation by no later than January, because once tax season happens, they're busy doing tax returns, right? So if you don't do it now, it'll die down after April. So like May in the summertime is kind of slow for accountants and CPAs. And then it revs right back up around August, September, because business tax returns if they got an extension are due September 15th, and then your personal tax returns if you got an extension are due October 15th. So you have like that, either that now time or this summertime to kind of get in and get a consultation so that you understand, how you should be organizing and keeping everything. And then if you hit a lick, our sales just doubled, you have some kind of increase, maybe God just blessed you, it's harvest season. What am I doing to eat up these profits? It's called tax planning. That's why you need an accountant or a CPA. Okay. Let's see what the next question is. What accounts are good to start with? I think this answer that question. What is the best way of marketing your business? Okay. In Doe Kiwi Jewelry, I would say you need to book a consultation with me. But to market your business, who are you marketing to? Who is your target audience? What are their pain points? What is going to move them? Depending on who your target audience is, that's how you know how to market.
Did you bring that black thing you were asking me if I wanted? Because it's real cold at home.
I did not, because you said that you didn't want it. Mm-hmm. So you have to know who your target audience is, meaning my product or my service is tailored for this person. That doesn't mean that outside people won't come in and purchase, but you have to market your product or service to like a certain demographic of persons. So if I was to, let me do a brand. Okay, Fashion Nova, right? Fashion Nova is real friendly. I'm gonna do Shein. I can do Fashion Nova or Shein. Fashion Nova or Shein is going to be like that affordable, fashion-forward brand, right? Some of their clothes may be a little risque, meaning, it's going to be, some dresses that are short. It'll be some dresses that are sheer. It's going to be some bodysuits that are sheer. Fashion Nova, there's a lot of ads for this little lingerie, so they are a little bit more risque. Well, would it make sense for Fashion Nova, who's promoting their lingerie line, to go and, spend $500,000 and put an ad in all the church bulletins to advertise to, the first ladies and the female congregation in all the churches? Well, I'm not saying that there may not be a fashion-forward first lady. And I'm not saying that every Christian at church hasn't dipped and dabbled into Fashion Nova. But that's probably not where their target audience is, right? So that would kind of be a waste of money. Now, if I was selling this nice robe, if I'm selling some kind of funky,
You want me to give us a Stevie?
Sure, that's fine.
On the bottom of that basket.
Okay, I love you. Bye, sweetie.
Tell them you gotta kiss your mom.
I'm on a live, sweetie.
I know, tell 'em.
Okay, I love you too, sweetie.
Throw your kisses.
All right, bye, doll. Just love her. So that's not where I want to put my marketing dollars to. Okay. And on the flip side, if I am an upscale brand, if I'm Chanel, right? I'm Chanel. I am the luxurious brand, but I'm looking around and everyone's having a Black Friday sale. Everyone's having a Cyber Monday sale. So let me go make my purses on sale. So I'm the brand manager for Chanel, and because everyone has a Black Friday or Cyber Monday sale, I now have a Cyber Monday sale, and all the Chanel handbags are half off. Well, the Chanel target audience is a customer who wants to pay a premium price to have a bag that no one else has. So when I go to brunch, when I go to church, when I'm just out and about, everyone's not going to have my bag because I'm paying top dollar for this bag. If this bag is now on sale, well, then now everyone's going to have this bag. And so then now I no longer want Chanel because I want a brand that I can pay a premium for, because when I walk out, I don't want everyone having my purse. So And when you don't know who your target audience is, and we're just doing random marketing things, we're not marketing to our person, right? So are you high end? Are you tiered? Meaning I have a nice little affordable bundle or affordable buy-in rate. I have a mid-tier, and then I have like the wham bam thank you ma'am. Am I more affordable? Walmart is affordable. Walmart is volume, right? So you got to know who your target audience is, and then what is the message? How do they respond? What do they like? If I'm Chanel and I have Blueface and whatever, what's the girlfriend name, baby? Krishan and Lil Boosie, do a commercial. Well, the average Chanel customer, that's not their vibe. So they're going to be like, okay, like Chanel, like, what is this, right? Versus if Fashion Nova had a campaign and it was the same people, Blueface, Krishan, and Boosie, I mean, they're probably going to sell out because their target audience vibes to Blueface, Krishan, and Boosie. So who is your target audience? What do they like? That's how I market. I'm going to market the pain point. Nobody wants to see a picture. Look at this phone. Isn't it cute? Boring. Right. We have to market the pain point, right? Half of y'all probably never heard of me, right? But you may have saw a video, 3 LLC mistakes. And when you click on the video, you made 2. Oh shoot, that's a mistake. I shouldn't put my home address on my LLC. No one told me that. Oh my gosh, I have to do an annual report. I didn't know that. Let me go on her page and see another video. What are the pain points? Okay. So you want to market the pain, market the problem. People may not know that they have this problem. Do you and your spouse argue every other weekend? Well, the highest percentage of divorce rate is blah, 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 blah. Market the pain points. Some people don't know that what they have is a problem. So either you bring awareness to that they have a problem, or market someone's pain point. Is your third grader struggling with learning multiplication? Are they really short on having like an attention span and they kind of hate math? Well, hey, I'm Joy. And for the last 15 years, I have been a third grade teacher. And I have come up with the best math program that really would keep your child intrigued and learn their multiplications. Click. So when it comes to marketing, you got to know who your target audience is, what kind of things attract them, and then we're going to market the pain points, market the problems, and your product, your service is the solution to their pain. That's how we market, okay? Any kind of restaurant, McDonald's is not telling you how many calories in them fries. They're not telling you how much cholesterol is in the hamburger. They are, having that big juicy burger, with the lettuce coming down, or the fries is fresh out the grease. You ever tell people, I want some fresh fries? Like, girl, you can get these fries. But, they are marketing to the taste, if you want something that's going to taste good and blah, 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 here it is, right? Versus something healthy, they're going to tell you all what's in it. McDonald's ain't telling you what's in it. All them, chemicals, and is it real meat? Is it dog meat? Is it cat meat? They just like, baby, here these nuggets, right? Versus if I'm a Whole Foods, if I'm a smoothie food truck, I'm telling you what's in my product. So you have to market to who you're selling it to. Hey, this smoothie only has 100 calories versus this smoothie tastes the bomb. This only has organic ingredients. This tastes good. You got to market to whoever is your target audience. So you got to first know who your target audience is. So then you can develop your marketing so that they vibe with it and they like it. Okay, I'll take about 2 more questions. Let's see. Do you have to have an LLC to apply for grants? For the majority of grants, they are going to want an established business, or they're going to want an LLC. There are some startup grants that do not have to have an LLC, but for the most part, and I'll put it to you this way. We're about to ask somebody for some free money, right? So shouldn't we kind of already have some stuff put in play if we're asking somebody for money? So we're asking somebody for money to invest in us to help our either start or grow our business. So before we ask for someone to help us with something, we should already, kind of take that first initiative and at least have our LLC, EIN, business bank account, so we're at least coming to the table with something. So you don't have to have an LLC for the startup grants, or for most of the grants you are supposed to have, they do require an LLC, EIN, business bank account. Hi, what you can advise? I'm a DBA right now. Baby, tomorrow form your LLC. Tomorrow form your LLC. Can you change the name of the LLC to a different name in order to keep the... Yes, you can. You can file an amendment. You'll go with your Secretary of State and you can file an amendment. Joy, do we get better tax breaks as an LLC versus a sole proprietor? There are no better tax breaks. There's better asset protection. LLCs are taxed as a sole proprietor. It's the same. You guys are taxed the same. An S Corp will give you a better tax break. But the S Corp benefits don't really kick in until you're at about $60,000 to $80,000 in profit. Okay, I didn't hit something. See that? Do you have to pay taxes on grants? So if you win a grant, the grant money is considered income, right? But with running a business, you have income and then you have expenses. So if I got a $10,000 grant, 9 out of 10 times I'm going to use that $10,000 for some kind of business expense. So I'm buying equipment, I'm remodeling my office, I hired some employees for payroll, I bought some inventory. So 9 out of 10 times you would have used the $10,000 of grant money, which is income, on expenses. So you have the income coming in, you're going to write off the expenses. So basically, if you use the money for business expenses, you're going to zero out the grant. So then, yes, it's income, but we're zeroing it out with the expenses, so we're not paying a tax on it. You're only paying a tax on the net profit. So whatever money came in minus what you spent to run the business, whatever is left, that's called a net profit. When you hear your income, like if you watch Shark Tank, we made $4 million last year. Well, no one cares how much you made, right? That's called gross profit. That's fugazi. Whenever someone says we have $4 million in sales, the next question that they ask is, okay, what was the net off of that? Or how much did you take home from that $4 million? Oh, we brought home $100,000. Okay, so what expenses are so high that $4 million only shielded you $100,000 in profit? Okay, so you're only paying a tax on whatever is that net profit, or whatever is the amount of money you make after you subtract your expenses from your income. I have an EIN, but I owe a reinstatement fee. Can I still apply for a grant? Yes. Okay. So if you can still apply for a grant, we just need to, after we apply for the grant today, on Monday, we need to be at our Secretary of State's office, filling out the form, paying whatever the fee is. If you don't have a business bank account, baby, still apply for the grant. They're going to ask you, like, once there's going to be a deadline for the grant, then they have to go through all the applications, right? So once you get picked as, like, after that first wave, they're going to email you. They're going to let you know, hey, you've been selected, blah, blah, blah. So you have, I would say, a good maybe 30 or 60 days from when the grant application closes to when they start contacting you. after you applied, go get whatever else is needed done. So go ahead and pay that reinstatement fee to get your LLC done. Go ahead and open that business bank account. So if you don't have a website or a brand new email address, just go ahead and get that, right? So, but you never want to not apply because you don't have one of the things that I'm saying that they're going to ask you for the business bank account when you win the grant, because they have to deposit the funds in the business name. You didn't apply for the grant, your business did, so the funds have to go to your business. So they aren't going to cash app you the money, they're not going to sell you the money, they're going to either give you a check or do a wire transfer, but it's going to be in your business name, and you have to have a business bank account to deposit those funds. So if your LLC is inactive, if we don't have a business bank account, if we don't have an EIN, apply for the grant, and then in the interim time, go and get what you need to go ahead and make that, to make everything official. Are you supposed to get the new EIN after your LLC is formed? Yes. Can a trucking business get funded? Any business can get funded. Yes. When you are in a high risk industry, the approval amount won't always be as high, and then you are going to have all your I's dotted and all your T's crossed, meaning they are going to look through your application and the requirements and underwriting of the fine-tooth comb, because you're in a high-risk industry. A high-risk industry is an industry that is deemed having a high likelihood of either chargebacks or bankruptcy. Okay, so trucking, logistics, credit repair, tax preparation, real estate, construction, car dealerships, those industries have a high rate of bankruptcy. Certain industries are just an automatic denial. So if you're in the sex industry, bail bonds, payday loan, check cashing, the banks won't even touch you. Firearms, like you sell guns, they're not even going to touch you. Those are called prohibited industries, okay? So some industries, like, don't even come to the bank. Other industries, you come up in here, you're going to have all your stuff together, and you will get like less than what another business would. And then your lower risk industries will, get, of course, higher approvals. Okay. Hey, Trilla Dank, how are you doing? Okay. Do I still have your number? Can you text me? If not, I can go through I got so many DMs. I'll be trying to get through them. Like Instagram only shows me so many DMs a day. So I gotta kind of, empty out these DMs before I get the next wave. So I will look for your DM. I got you. Okay, small club in Houston. Come on, small the club, crunk of the party. Can you have more than one EIN? No, you can only have one EIN for a business entity. Do you need to file an annual report for a nonprofit? That depends on your state. Some states like Texas, if you fill out a certain form, they will allow you not to have to file your annual report, but you have to get approval for that. So I would contact your Secretary of State for that. Exotic rentals. That's going to be good. Dang, that's going to be good. Okay, y'all. Well, I have to get back to my project. If you are interested in my Black Friday bundle, I extended the deal till Monday. Just type in Black Friday in the chat and a link will be sent to your DMs. If you need help with grants, just type in grants in the chat and a link will be sent to you for my grant bundle on my grant writing course. Make sure that we are getting our I's dotted and our T's crossed for 2023, just so that we can, start out 2024 with a bang. If you need to book a consultation with me to help get you a game plan, if you put your business on pause and God said, girl, stop playing or boy, stop playing, let's get it together. Let's go ahead and get it together. We can't win the game, sit on the sidelines. We gotta at least be in the game to win the game. So, book a consultation. I can, help you, give you a nice, simple way as to how to get it started, get it going. If we're stuck and we need to grow it, I can help you with, getting it growing. But let's go ahead and start working or getting our stuff together in 2023. So when 2024 hits, we're already now gaining momentum. If we are in any kind of come 2024, what's January? January is nothing, but you have like a big wave. So we got income tax time where everyone's spending money. We got Valentine's. We have these little winter formal school dances. We're gonna have St. Patrick's Day. We're going to have Mother's Day. We're going to have spring break. What else is in this January, February, March? Easter, Father's Day. So that February, March, April, May, June is a big run when it comes to selling anything, right? So you want to make sure that we're using our time now into November, December, January, getting our marketing together, right? Do we need to rebrand? Do we need to, make our Instagram page pop more? Do we need to maybe work on our content or, our content marketing? You don't have to have 1 million followers to make money, right? I tell people all the time, when I left my son's father, after he tried to kill me, he took all the money out of our accounts. He locked me out of the business, and I had to sue him and the business to stop all that, right? But I didn't have no money. So I literally sold a digital product because I didn't have any money. I had a son. He don't care, right? Because, crazy people do crazy things. So how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to, get food? How are we going to, live? Don't look at my page now. I have grown my following, but when I moved out here, I came out here. I started my social media journey February, really March, but the money got taken out January. February, I was in court for like a month getting stuff situated. So March 1st, my birthday, March 1st of 2022 is when I started my business on social media. I had maybe 10 or 12,000 followers in 2022. So don't look at my 300 or whatever, but I paid my rent. I paid all my bills by selling a grant bundle back in 2022. So whatever we're trying to do, we need to go ahead and get a game plan. And if a lot of times just adding a digital product, making our marketing stand out, making sure that you have a message, making sure that when someone goes to your page, you can have a brick and mortar, right? But advertising on social media is free. Like for my salons, I was spending $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month to advertise on 97.9 and 102.1. Those were the two radio stations back in Houston. Like I was spending 30, 40, 50 grand a month to be on the radio to keep that line wrapped around at my salons. It's free, right? All you need to do is have the right content, pick up traction in the algorithm to get people to see, hey, I'm over here, I'm a coach. Hey, I'm over here, I do lashes. Hey, I'm over here and I detail cars. Hey, I'm over here and I'm blasing. So, use this time. I mean, granted, it's the holidays. We want to have fun. We want to see our family. Boom, boom, boom. But use this time before we have our run, it's going to be February to June, to kind of revamp. Like, what is it that your business is lacking? What do you feel like you could be doing better? How can we add an additional stream of revenue in what we're already doing? How can we increase what we're already doing? How can we increase, the awareness that I have this storefront here, that I have this boutique online? How do we get people to our social media page? And I speak about social media because for 15 years, I did brick and mortar stores. I know exactly how to get the club to, how to get my location crunk. Whatever's in that radius, I can get the people to my radius, right? It costs money. It's going to be foot traffic. It's going to be marketing. It's going to be a street team, but I know how to get the people to the business. When I did online, when I had to go online, I didn't have any money to do Instagram ads. Like, I'm trying to get money to pay rent. I'm trying to get money to put food on the table for my son. I did not have any money. And so I'm speaking from not having any money, not having a big social media following, not even knowing what to do online to, hey, I'm just selling a product. I'm kind of tweaking some things. Oh, this is working, and I'm paying all my bills like that. Right? Without having to put up any money. I understand I got to pay to play. Social media was the first time where I never paid to play. And a lot of y'all will have a brick and mortar if we didn't have to pay all these influencers. If you can get your online orders to increase by 20% just by having different content on social media, just by making our page look more appealing, why not? If you can have more people walk into your spa, walk into your gym, walk into your psychologist's office by just hearing about you for free on social media, why not? So take this time to kind of assess, like, what am I lacking? You know, if you want to book a consultation with me, I can kind of tell you maybe what you're lacking and how to package it so that it's easy to sell. But take this time that we're ending 2023 to really work on what do I need to do to revamp. If we keep doing the same thing, we're going to be getting the same results, right? And I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong, but let's just think outside the box. What can I do to increase my bottom line by just 20%? What can you do just to add another $500 to $1,000 a month in your pocket? Like, I like to talk about small numbers because it's more realistic, right? If I say, what can y'all do to add another $100,000, the doubt in your mind going to be like, oh, she tripping. So I'm going to keep it small. What can we do to add another $500 or $1,000 a month to our business bottom line? That's going to be either me and math. Hold on, I ain't gonna lie to you. 500 times 12, I think it's 6,000. That's gonna be another $6,000 or another $12,000 a year your business can make. How do we get an additional $500 to $1,000? Map out that plan. How many more customers is that? How many more is it more customers, or can we add something to increase what each customer is spending, right? So if our average customer spends $100, how can we get our average customer to spend $150? What kind of extra bonus product can we add if they were to increase what their shopping cart amount is? How can I get more business so that these are the things that you have to ask yourself and come up with a plan. How do I get in an additional $500 to $1,000 a month? If we're doing 500 divided by 4, that's going to be an additional $125 a week. How do I get an additional $125 a week in my business? If I'm doing $1,000 more a month divided by 4, how do I get an additional $250 a week into my business? Okay. So if you're a new business, we're just starting out, that'd be a nice little goal. Now, if you're already in the game, how do we get an extra $10,000 a month in our business? If we're doing $10,000 a month, that's going to be an extra $2,500 a week. How do I get an extra $2,000 to come in here every single week? What is the plan? Okay. Us just saying, hey, we're going to make this next year our best year, right? That's going to kind of fizzle out when that Mike Tyson blow comes on January 15th and life just takes you out, right? What is the plan? What is the product? What is the service? What is the rebranding? What is the new logo? What is the new slogan? What is the bundle deal? What is the new equipment? What is the new inventory? What is the new thing that we're doing that we are revamping to bring in this additional revenue? But whatever is your goal, break it down into a monthly goal, because once you get that monthly goal, we can break it down to weekly. So I gotta do an extra either $250 a week for our starter businesses or our new businesses, or an additional $2,500 for the players in the game, and that will give us an additional $1,000 a month or an additional $10,000 a month. So then we think we're going to be doing additional $12,000 or additional $100,000 a year just on whatever this one game plan is to get this additional revenue. Once you can figure out what that thing is, now all we got to do is 10x it, right? So let's just say I do lashes and I come up with some kind of bundle deal where if you buy 12 services at once, you get 2 free, right? Well, the girls who are coming consistently every 2 weeks are like, well, I might as well pay that money up front so that I can get 2 free, right? Now, in life, unless you like me, who, baby, hurricane, death in the family, these lashes will be done. Everyone's not going to be like me, right? So a person may pay for, 12 services for the year, but only come and do 9 or 10, right? So you got money on 2 services that they didn't do. Or because you're giving them a bundle, more of your clientele, like that makes sense. So instead of you making $100 a day or $1,000 a day because you did 10, well, not $1,000 a day. If you did 5 girls at $100, you're normally making $500 a day. You can go from making $500 a day to getting these big licks at one time. When you get a big lick of money, so if I had, instead of me doing 5 girls a day for $100, I have 5 girls pay me, we'll say we'll say she paid me $1,000 to get this bundle. Now I got $5,000. In one day versus 500. When you get a large sum of money, now I can do something with the money, right? So granted, we can't just spend it because this girl's going to come every 2 weeks for the next year. You still want to have income, come December on this January money, but with that influx of money, I can now buy my product at a larger quantity in a cheaper price. So if it costs me $2 for all the lashes to put on everyone's refill, but if I buy in a bigger quantity, I can get it for 10 cents. I've now made $1.90 more on every client. Well, it may not sound like a lot of money, but $1.90 more, on every client is going to, increase my profit, and I haven't done anything different, right? If I got that influx of money at one time, I may be able to hire a marketing agency or, get a better suite or do something, right? So the whole goal is, how do I get this additional revenue in? Once I see what's working, now I put money behind it. When I had my salons, should we go on the radio? This is circa 2013, right? There wasn't, all this internet radio. It was, you had to listen to radio in your city, right? But no salons ever advertised on the radio. Like, is it going to work? I don't know. Well, we got to put in 50 grand. Screw it, we'll put in 50 grand. We'll just see what it do. Line wrapped around like we selling Jordans. It worked, right? So, okay, we're gonna continue being on the radio. Let's double what we're spending, right? So if we're going to do 50 on 97.9, let me get the aunties and the mamas in. So I'm going to go to the grown folk radio station when they listening to Teddy P and get that client. So we got 50 over on the hip hop station and we got another 50 over on the grown folk station. Once you know what's working, now we just pour money into that 10x it, right? Because we know it's working. As we're trying to figure out what is working, is a bundle deal working? Is a sale working? Is it an additional coaching session for this? Is it a new product line? Like, as we're trying to figure out what it is working, we're not pouring all our money in. We're trying to see, what do our clients like? What is it that's moving them? But once you find what's moving them, we are just going all in, right? It's no breaks. It's screw it. Like, we're going to go all in because we know it works. But it's so important to do all this testing, get the brainstorming out now. So come January, you already have a game plan. You have tested in December, in January. And so now if you got to take December and January to figure out what it is, well, now we're ready for February, March, and April. But we got to come up with the plan. I'm saying all this to say, we can't be, singing, drinking hot cocoa and making cookies and taking, pajama pictures for the entire entire November and December. Go ahead and knock that out, but go ahead and get you a game plan. Brainstorm. What are some things you can do? If you want to book a consultation with me, book a consultation with me. Go on YouTube, get you a book on Amazon about marketing and branding, but do something that's going to take your business to that next level. But you got to do something that's new. We can't just keep doing the same thing every year. We got to kind of, funk it up. Sometimes just revamp your website, right? Change your pictures. Go get you a photo shoot. If it's you, that's the brand, you go have a photo shoot. If it's your products, have your products have a whole new photo shoot. Maybe put some music behind something. Sometimes just fine tuning something, just changing the color of it, changing, just something that will make a difference, right? So, but you got to kind of play with these things to see what's best for your business. I just said I had stuff to do. I'm still running my mouth. Well, everyone have a great Sunday, and I will, of course, see y'all at the bank.